Belrose and Darius. You all have come to know the Necronomicon, and through its words have gone on a pilgrimage to seek the forbidden knowledge. Some for fame, some for power, some for glory, but all for knowledge. Despite your reasons, you have found yourselves gathering at a holy place known for its relation to the dead, a palace of peace, the Church of Bones. You marvel at its high stone walls and Gothic architecture accented with the bones of many people throughout the ages. The bones do not show malice, nor do they show ill intention, but instead the building appears as a homage to those who have died in great pain and suffering, bringing their souls to peace through respect and honor, as well as a safe place to be laid to rest. And this is where all the party members do arrive, seeking the knowledge of the Necronomicon. I want everybody to go ahead and describe themselves, starting with Belrose.
Okay. Belrose. Um, Belrose is a sort of lithe uh, elf. He's a bit on the shorter side. He has longish, slick back black hair that is kept very neat. Um, he has very royal features. He looks like if he wasn't a man of the cloth, he would be of high standing. And just based on the way that he carries himself and the way that he has kept his appearance. At all times, he has this sort of wry grin on his face. It's a mix of like wry knowing and shit eatingness. And yeah, that's pretty much everything about him.
All right, Brenner, you go ahead.
All right, so I am Brenner. I am a human. Brenner is size-wise or height-wise, he's pretty average for a human. Sort of like a little less than 6 feet. He's like slim and sort of lanky looking. But he just sort of he does have some muscle because he grew up in sort of like as in like peasant sort of circumstances. So he was forced to sort of do manual labor for a good portion of his childhood and early teens. Um, and then as he sort of grew older, he started doing more intellectual pursuits. So maybe he's not as physically fit as he used to be, but he's still pretty. He still had to do some work. He's pretty. He's not very well groomed. He's pretty rough looking, as one would expect, because he was definitely not, born under on any noble conditions or with much money at all. Um, he does sort of give an air of maybe trying to pretend to be like an intellectual, but it looks like it was definitely something that he's trying to learn to be, and not really something that he already is. If that makes any sense. um, that's all I really have to say, I guess.
Awesome. All right, now your turn, Darius.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry. So Darius is sorry, it's gonna take a bit to warm up. Darius is a human as well. He's slightly taller than Brenner, but not by that much. He's not necessarily that tall. He is quite thin, but not. He definitely looks like he has some. He definitely looks like someone who's done a lot of like physical labor, but not necessarily like. He's not necessarily like extremely muscular, but he definitely has some of that like lean muscle and all of that. But he sorry, by the way, I'm not that
It's okay.
I'm
Man.
not that confident with this sort of stuff. I'm
It's
just
all right.
trying to.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
You got a lean, slightly taller human who seems confident in his physical strength. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, and then I guess the only other thing to note is that he he doesn't necessarily look old, but he definitely looks like he kind of looks older than he is, kind of as though he's been through a lot of stress and it's kind of shaped how he looks. He kind of has like kind of like sunken eyes and hair that kind of looks older than like hair that's going gray, kind of looks like it's going gray quicker than it should be. But overall, he kind of has like a kind look to him, almost kind of unexpected of something you would typically see for someone who would be worshiping someone of relating to death. Almost looks, you know. But yeah, that's basically it.
All right. All right, Ilthun, your turn.
You'll see a tall elf. You wouldn't know it by looking at him, but he's well aged. He has short blonde hair cut at the edge of his jaw, very square jaw, noble features, much like Belrose. Holds himself at a higher standing of what his clothes would be. Very like ramrod back straight, arms behind his back, like a man who had a station. Um, his face is very stoic. He does not show very much of emotions. He looks as if he's almost guarding the group, even though they're all like kind of just the same, not necessarily of any standing of their own. But it's just more. He looks to be. He holds himself like a noble would, but at the same time, there's more to that.
Fantastic. All right. So we have a decent description of all four characters here, and you all arrive at this Church of Bones and make your way in, I'm assuming, to see what it has to see. What you do see as you walk in is that this place is heavily decorated with the bones of the living, making pillars, tapestries, coats of arms, and even chandeliers of all of these remains. All of it appears to be well kept, and all of it is in its place, with an exception to a centerpiece that appears to be missing, only obviously that only so obvious because it is lacking the an obvious intricacy other masterpieces would have. Could not seem to say that word for the life of me. Otherwise, you guys have free roam to do as you see fit for a moment here and ask questions, do what you will.
I'm sorry. Can you go over that last bit again? You cut out for me.
Everything seems to be really well kept and in its place, with an exception to a centerpiece that appears to be missing, and it's pretty obvious as it lacks the features that should obviously be there. Like it's like something that would be set in place, but it's not there.
So there's like a divot.
If anything, like you could see the tapestry kind of walks around. It's like an empty space inside of a intricate design.
So this is like a temple we're in. Or
Belrose immediately starts marveling over the entire temple. He quickly takes out a pen and a sheaf of paper and he starts writing furiously, just like looking at various different pillars and parts and muttering to himself as he does.
I think Brenner, sort of similar to Belrose, will definitely be awed by the. What would you call it? A temple, or would it? You have a different name.
The official name is Church of Bones, also known as Palace
Yeah.
of Peace.
So he definitely is awed by this church, but I think he would rather sort of live in the moment and sort of take it in as it's happening, rather than pour over like notes and take notes on the architecture, which isn't really his specialty anyway. So
Ilthun would look around. I would assume that he's, because of his standing in his past, he'd be used to seeing more gallant looking buildings. So the architect is, well, impressive, not too shiny for him. He'd rather look at the note you were mentioning about the spot that's out of place. He'd be more focused about that. Starting to look at and take investigation of that.
Awesome.
And then
Go ahead.
Darius, whatever. He's definitely impressed. This is like probably the nicest building he's ever seen, but he doesn't really show it that much. Like, he's not necessarily interested in it. I guess he's just kind of here right now and just, waiting for whatever happens. And
So I'm imagining you are doing that old man thing where you kind of like frown, nod your head, and look around, right?
I guess.
Not like super impressed, but still, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Well, while you guys are sitting here doing this, Ilthun, I would like you to go ahead and roll a perception check.
Alrighty.
That'll be 3. It'll be the 3d6 plus perception.
So let's see. Where is my perception?
Well, perception also uses all of the
all your core skills as well.
stats, right? Or
Yeah,
attributes.
so it would be a 4 on my sheet.
That's correct.
So yeah, it's 46. Did not put the input right.
Are we rolling in So we're rolling in the dice rolls channel?
That's correct.
Okay.
Oh, it's just R4. Got it.
I think it was
With this-
It doesn't like me.
It's R, fix it.
R?
Oh, that's strange.
Technical difficulties.
Let me take a look. What happens if I do it? R. I think all you should have to do is put a space.
I'm about to
in the
bust.
number.
I'm about to bust out my own dice and put the camera on my dice tray.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work for me either.
Yeah, it should work, but I don't know why it's not working. I've seen it work previously, so I don't know why the dice.
Yeah, it's in there. Hang on, I will. I have workarounds. I have camera. I have dice.
Bot is dead.
Yeah, bot is dead. Bot
I'm
doesn't.
gonna
work.
try doing it in the general chat. Yeah, it doesn't work here either.
Okay.
Okay, I can fix this. Do. All right,
Always
dice
camera
trick.
up.
46. You say?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do I only have 3? I'm a flip. 6, 6, 5, and 3.
Goddamn.
3 successes. Nice. Let me message Zar to fix the dice bot real quick.
We have technology.
Dice spot should be back up.
6, 6, 5. Oh God, yeah, it's up. I did not mean to
it's
roll
working now.
44.
There we go. Good. Now that we got it working, I already got your 3 successes. So after looking at the tapestry for a second, you could see that it almost is like the, and I called it tapestry, but it's made out of nothing but bones. It's almost as if it imitates a tapestry because it's flat against the wall and it makes a picture that's full. And what you see is some sort of duality, and amongst the duality, there's supposed to be something in the middle that depicts something there, where there's several different figures of like skeletons holding out, and some to depict warriors, some to depict the dead, some to depict some sort of thing in the middle there that you can't see, like because that portion of it has been pulled away, as if it were like a slab that would go in place. If that makes sense.
So it's okay.
Interesting.
While you guys are doing this, you also suddenly notice somebody else entering the room, and I'll describe him for you. You see an old, decrepit man with white, shaggy hair that makes a horseshoe around his balding head, accented by his wispy white beard. He has deep socketed eyes that show his exhaustion from many years, and he stands around 5'1", with that kind of slunch you often see from those who have worked backbreaking work for many, many years. And he wears this old clergy vestments that have obviously been patched, and the color, which once would have been like a noir black and maroon red, are now more of a light gray and blush red. And he appears to be looking about the church, walking with a cane to assist him, and holding a lantern. The lantern itself actually appears to be crafted to look like the holy symbol of Indolous, which is a skull being presented by hands, right? The actual making of it being a skull lacking the jawbone with candle lights within the eye sockets itself, held atop two hands of corpses. He's just holding it up by like a handle that's put into like the sides of the skull, as he's using it to look about.
Jesus, that's a fucking extra sounding lantern.
It's pretty gnarly.
Rose immediately puts down, well, doesn't exactly put it down, but lowers his sheaf of papers from his face and looks to the old man. He'll go, "Excellent. Another pilgrim, perhaps? Or are you the caretaker of this temple?"
He looks you up and down. This one's perceptive. Obvious sees that he knows this place and knows a keeper when he sees one. He then continues walking about, almost as if he wasn't even talking to you, and he says, "Obvious sees them. Those that sneak and slink, then peek and pick. They think obvious not see sneakies. They think obvious not know."
I think Brenner's gonna sort of see this creepy old muttering guy, and just sort of slowly, sort of scooch away.
Appropriate.
Ilthun will regard this man. Obvious, you said your name was, yes?
He turns.
This tapestry is missing something. Are you aware of what it could be?
Obvious knows the things that go missing. Obvious takes care of the bones and the remains.
So it has gone missing, then, yes?
Mm-hmm. It has sneaky, peeky pickpockets.
Pickpockets.
Robbers, then. How depraved to steal from a temple.
Perceptive one understands.
Though to do stuff for money, as low as it might be. Sadly, not all of us can live off of name alone.
Not all of us, indeed.
Obvious sees many of those seeking knowledge from those who have been buried here. Well, first need to show proper respect to their time on both sides of the veil.
And how would we show this proper respect?
He just kind of shrugs and looks at the missing spot in the tapestries.
So that would show us how. Or by returning it, we would do the service needed.
Obvious keeps walking along, now as if he wasn't talking to you guys anymore, and he says, "Callous may no longer have riders, but Catalysts still have power, if only to give peace to those on this side of the veil." And he walks out of the room, continuing whatever it is he was doing earlier.
If I heard correctly, he said catalyst, did he not?
I think he said cattle. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Catalysts.
Haha, my elven ears were right.
Cow? So a cow stole the tapestry?
Ugh.
As hilarious as that would be, no.
Mm.
Belrose is going to examine the tapestry and specifically the piece in the center. Would he know of this tapestry, considering the extensive research he has done in this religion?
Go ahead and make a roll with your vocation.
Okay, how do you make a roll again? Just to go over to make sure I don't make a mistake.
So it's an exclamation point, the or letter R, space, and then however many dice it is. Remember, you always add 3 to every roll.
Okay, so since I have 4 in clergy, it would be
I believe
7.
on the actual oh, I guess it doesn't do it for vocations, but for all the other skills, it has the number
Mhm.
of dice. Okay.
Alright, so vocation.
So what?
Sorry.
What would be
So you're rolling 7.
like the base skill for this? You think? Because
You're rolling
okay,
7
7.
dice.
Okay. Oh, that was fucked up, but I forgot that this doesn't work anyhow.
Yeah, don't roll the D. Just drop the D7. Just it's exclamation point R space 7 and nothing else.
Oh, so it wouldn't be a D7.
space 7. Oh, it's working now. Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
do
no,
Ds
so 4.
like
Yeah,
you do
we-
in like a roll
We
20.
got it.
Okay. So 4 successes.
With this, you can definitely tell that this is trying to depict something involving a in-between of the veil. You can't tell what it's supposed to be exactly, but it's definitely trying to hint to you, make some sort of hint to something that's between the veil of life and the veil of death, as talked about in the Necronomicon.
So you mentioned earlier that this tapestry sort of has this very visible duality. So this part that's missing is sort of the in between. So is it
Yeah,
like
I was
how
getting-
exactly are the two sides differentiated? Is it like one side is like lighter and the other side is darker, or is it just like the design?
So on one side of the design, you will see depictions of living people doing living things, and then as it goes towards the middle, going across that border, you can see like battles between the two sides, and then on the other side, it shows like literal death. And
So the progression of life into death, with the veil being that middle slot.
correct.
How very ironic. The middle in between life and death is missing.
The very thing we wish to learn about.
Exactly. Just as men have forgotten what is in between, so has the tapestry. Belrose
well-
writes something down in his sheaf of papers.
But why would someone steal just the middle part? Why not just take the whole thing?
Why indeed? Why would a man do anything?
Poetic irony, maybe?
If only life was so simple.
I think poetic irony is anything but simple, but probably for money or something of the sort.
Well, I
It would
mean,
not
if it was
surprise
money, then the more the better, right? So why only take that middle part?
Do the other
It is
parts of
actually
it look like to be
significant?
removed? Or is it just this part?
There are definitely other things that could have been taken in here, not necessarily off of this tapestry, but other things could have been taken out of this church.
And what would you say would be like the monetary value of some of the other objects? If there would be any.
It is difficult to give a monetary value since a lot of these items are literally human remains just arranged into art, as if I were to put it in a simple fashion.
True.
That's what I was thinking. If it was for money, then why even come to this place? No. There's something
Well-
about this tablet.
I don't know about you, But if I were to rob from a place, I choose the place that just has an elderly caretaker rather than guards. No one. No one agrees. Okay, I'll keep it to myself then. Anyways, I don't think their motivation exactly matters yet. I think we just simply need to find out who they are and then give them the old. Belrose pounds his fists together.
Inelegant but effective. I'd much rather slit their throats and be done with it.
Where do we
Oh,
even
that
begin?
too.
It would get us what we needed. And if they didn't have what we needed, we would extract information as to where it is and then dispose of the refuse.
But that is a good question. Where should we begin?
Perhaps we should ask our friend instead of asking each other.
Darius or Branner, don't one of you do have like survival skills of some kind?
I
Uh,
do, but I think mine are more geared towards like anatomy and figuring out medical stuff.
I mean, specifically the
I
skill
mean-
survival.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have survival.
I mean, no, I don't have survival.
Yeah, okay, see, the other thing was Brenner then. Brenner, you should definitely apply your survival skills to hopefully figure out where this object went.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Brenner's gonna sort of look around, see if he can maybe, because how frequently like does it look like this place is visited on a daily basis? Are we like the first people to like go here in like a while other than the caretaker? Or does it look like this is like very regularly visited by like people like for funerals and stuff?
Based on its upkeep, it looks like the keeper keeps this place quite nice, but it doesn't look like it's a place that's often visited. One, it's way out of the way. Like a lot of people, you would have to do, you are unlikely to stumble upon this place. You have to usually come here with intention. And two, if they are people who visited, maybe be once in a blue moon.
Okay, so I think Brenner's gonna sort of look around. So in the actual room that we're in, like, can you see that like stuff is like missing from where it was like something where something was supposed to be, or is the tapestry the only one where it's like obvious that something is like missing?
The tapestry is the only obvious object within this room.
Okay, so Brenner's gonna take a look around the tapestry and see if he can find any tracks or clues that might let him know where the thief may have gone or come from.
Go and make a survival roll, please.
Okay, so that will be 5 dice. Nice.
That is amazing. Awesome. So you begin looking around, going all detective gadget on this place, and you can see that the placing out. You can actually tell where they took some time to put in some sort of object to break and open up the actual tapestry to get the tablet that they took out, because you can tell that this was probably a piece that was made. Like it was pieced together and certain parts were put in and then like sealed into place essentially. So they cut it out of place. That's what you can tell. And then upon looking through, you can see where they had left some dust and particles leading their way out of one particular doorway that leads you outside. And upon doing such that,
Did you repeat the part of what was it that they did with the tapestry? You said that there's like an object there.
well, in order for it to have been pulled out, they had to have taken some sort of sharp object or some sort of prying object and break off the thing that they used to adhere it to the wall, essentially. So it was
Okay,
something
I see.
used to adhere it to the wall originally as a piece, but they popped it. They basically took the time to cut it out of place and then take it, and then that left like a debris for you that you could follow in order to make your way out the door. And then at that point,
I see.
yeah. Even though it was very minute, but you were able to follow that debris on your way out of the doorway and
So the
find
debris from the tapestry itself.
yeah, basically debris from the tapestries like adhere and like breaking up stone and whatnot because this stuff like the building itself is
Okay.
made out of stone despite the bones on it.
Brenner's going to speak up and say, "Hey, look here. Looks like there's a trail of some sorts. Looks like our thief wasn't quite as meticulous as he could have been in securing his stealthy getaway.
All the better for us, I suppose.
Boy,
For our benefits and his demise.
I do love tracking idiots. Make it
Let's see
so
if
easy.
Especially
trail
those
leads
idiots that
anywhere.
would dare to defile such a place.
At least now we have somewhere to begin.
Yep. And given
Let's
such a
hope
good
the
roll,
trails-
I'm actually going to extend the check a little bit for you because you got a ridiculously good roll on that one. So even as you make your way out and you follow some tracks, you actually see that they dropped something, and you pick it up and you see that there's this. It appears to be a coin from a kingdom not far away. And you only recognize it because it's got some sort of minting on it.
Do I know what the name of the kingdom is?
Oh man, I forgot to get the name of that kingdom. 1 second. While
Give name.
there is a name. I have to quickly check real fast. That's my fault. That's my fault for not checking.
I guess for now, I am a peasant, so I suppose maybe I don't necessarily immediately know where this coin came from.
That's
So I'm gonna turn. Brenner's gonna turn towards Belrose and be like, "Hey, he's gonna like flick the coin towards him, like intending for him to catch it and be like, "Hey, you recognize this?"
Maybe flick it to the elder one.
Burroughs catches it. And he examines it. What should I roll to see if I know this coin? Nick?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to quickly get the name of the actual nation there for you.
Yeah, I was just stalling a bit. Brenner figures that Belrose being looking like a well-educated, noble guy, elf, will most likely know these more urban things.
Oh, this is the map I wanted. That's my problem. Let me scroll into the spot because I know where it is tangentially. It is the Dwarven Kingdom of Galen. So yeah, that's where it's from. It's from the Dwarven Kingdom of Galen, which is north of here. Their big kingdom is several days away, but there's definitely some villages along the way.
Belrose holds the coin up to the sky and examines it. It's from Gavin, a couple days away, but this is called a wish coin. You know what that is?
Oh, wish coin? So you throw it in a well?
No, but it does have similar effects. Around 1,000 years ago, some grand hero in Galand won the king's favor. So he gave this hero this coin, along with 100 others to his companions. They were to be passed down for generations until a certain amount of time passed, and then the descendants could cash in for any wish from the king. Of course, the coins went missing, and a few have been found up to now. Sparse, keep in mind, but this is among them. And he hands the coin back to you.
So this tells us
that you are now a very rich man.
Huh.
All you have to do
He
is
sort
to
of
present
looks at
this.
himself. I don't really feel much richer.
Well, not right now, you see. What you have to do is you have to go into Galand, present it to the king, demand something, and then he will be forced to give you it, as long as you present this coin.
And pray you don't die on the way there.
So, if our thief was carrying something like this around, why did he need to go to some dusty old temple to steal some corpses?
Because obviously he didn't know its value. That's the irony in it all, don't you see? Such a good story. I need to write this down.
Well, I guess I know where we're headed. I think.
It appears to be our only lead.
All right.
May very well
start heading
follow
that
it.
direction.
Any lead is better than no lead.
All right, so you guys
Well,
start,
let's head off.
good to go.
This is what I get for role playing at 10 o'clock at night.
It's 11 for me.
Yes,
11:30.
It's
10:30 here, so.
Wow. All right, so you guys start heading off. You guys are heading, if I'm correct by looking at this map, through a set of plains for the most part, and you got a few days to journey along before you make it to where you're going. And there is a village along the way that you remember from just passing through these areas before, seeing a map of some kind. So it's likely going to be your first stop. But along the way, you guys eventually make camp, sit down, and have an opportunity to get to know each other just a little bit as you see fit for a minute.
Actually, a quick question. So I just sort of I'm looking at the map. So the red X is where we are or were, right? The Church of Bones.
You guys are where the Church of Bones are, yeah.
Okay, and are we heading northwest or northeast or
If I'm-
south?
If I'm correct, it is northeast. Should be the
Wait, there's a
door-
map?
Yes, there's an
Yeah,
actual
Yeah,
map.
in
there.
the
You
in the
gotta go to
general
World
chat,
Anvil.
there's some maps.
If you go to World Anvil, there's stuff that you can see for everything we've built thus far.
Oh, I see it in general chat though. So.
Yeah, General Chat has it
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
Okay. So you said we're camping right now?
Mm-hmm. Gives you guys an opportunity to talk for a moment and get to know each other a little bit better.
What's the sort of like area we're in? Like, is it like plains or are we in a?
Actually,
Like, what's
let me
the
look at this map
environment?
again? It's actually more forest than anything else.
Okay. And Belrose is probably leaned up against a tree. He's not writing right now, but he's looking over what seems like notes.
Oh, that's nice.
Brenner's gonna sort of awkwardly cough and sort of be like, so, what brought you all to the Church of Bones?
Same as any others, I suppose. Faith, devotion to the Lord, yada yada yada, all that business.
I'm here for one thing. Return to my power. Not my power. My family's power. Anything else is moot in my point. Just want the power this faith brings. That's all I'll need.
Almost admirable.
You would find it admirable if you were, as, how should I put this, experienced as I am. You're still a child. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Belrose turns his pen around and then jots it toward you. Here's a word of advice, friend. Do not presume others' experiences.
Do not doubt mine, friend.
Anyways, how about you two? What brings you here?
Yeah, I cannot think today. Of
If you want, I
trying
can
to
help you
think
a
what
little
can I
bit here.
say.
You remember you were village and the issues with your village and the reason why you're
Yeah,
following the faith.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Do you want me to go while you're thinking?
Sure, go ahead.
Baron's gonna speak up. Well, beyond getting away from the old man, guess there was a friend I had, an uncle of sorts, I consider him, taught me some anatomy, healing, and I just fell in love with it, and I had to know more. So that's really why I'm out here, just trying to get more knowledge.
I am here to protect those from the fate I have seen people suffer.
That sounds interesting. So, what's up with you?
It's a long story.
Well, we're sitting by a campfire. Seems like a perfect time to tell a story.
I
Unless you don't want to. I'm not gonna force you to.
I suppose it would do no harm. I grew up in a small village, somewhere within this kingdom. Honestly, I have no idea where personally, as an aside, so, whatever.
It's in a swampy area that's kind of closer towards the edge of the map. Closer than most.
Alright. Okay. I grew up learning.
It's alright. You can hold on to it for later and tell it as a future story if you're not ready for it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, right now, I'm not.
It's all good.
I don't know. Right now, I'm not really in the mood for roleplay.
Very well. In which case, we'll move on.
I need to get a drink or something real quick, so.
Well, if we're telling stories, I'll be the icebreaker, so to speak, and tell mine. It was 10 years ago this day. I was young and in love. My house, you see, we were well off at the time, and we had an arranged marriage set up for me and a lady. She was to my well, she was elven. I'm getting ahead of myself. My love, however, the one that my heart is sworn to, was human, much to my family's dismay. As a way to run away from this, I joined the cloth, hoping that eventually I could work my way up to enjoy more frivolous benefits. Buy us both away into a nice life. Unfortunately, my family was having none of it, and they put her to the sword. So now I'm searching for knowledge to bring her back.
Such as the elven noble houses. They don't take kindly when you seek to strike out on your own. I'm sorry you had to face it your own way.
You see Belrose's face break out into a big smile, and then he lets out laughter. You believe that? I read that in a book once. I'm going to bed. Good night.
I'm silencing my laughter this entire time.
Brenner's gonna turn towards Ilthun. What was his name again?
Who's my name or his name?
Well, yours too, I suppose. Have we introduced ourselves?
We haven't introduced ourselves. That's even better. I'm Belrose, by the way.
Belrose. I'm Brenner. Brenner Rolf.
Ilthun of the House Fazni.
Darius.
Well, Darius, Ilthun, Brenna, I have a feeling we're all going to get along greatly.
I would hope so.
And at that point, we go ahead and you guys hit the hay and you proceed on the road on the next day, feeling a little salty about that epic little tale he spun for a moment on you.
He's a kid. He's gonna be stupid.
You don't know how old he is, by the way. Like, you can't really tell. He has that, like,
I mean, elf to elf. And
yeah, no, I mean, just as a person, he has that type of face where, like, he could be fucking 50 or he could be 10.
Still younger than Ilfin. Still a kid in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you'll continue to call you a child.
All right, so
I must be like a literal baby.
I mean, you are a human, so.
I will tell
Also,
you
I
right
don't
now,
think-
if you're not aware of this, the ages in this universe, elves don't have 700-year lifetimes. They have the same lifetimes as humans.
Yeah.
If you weren't aware of that.
Oh, that would have been good to know.
Yep, just something to put in. You can put yourself as an older elf, but keep in mind, you don't live 700 years.
I wasn't shooting for 700. I was shooting for maybe 3 at max. 300. But,
Yeah, it'll clash with the
You
regular
didn't,
story.
you didn't say that though.
I know I
when we were
didn't.
doing
I didn't because I didn't think about it at the time when we were creating the characters. Kind of a small
Yeah.
detail in my head. My bad.
It's so nice to be based off humans. Fuck. That's weird. That's weird to
So
me.
now you just sound like a very pretentious elf. Oh,
Hey, no, that's by the way, that means he just sounds like an elf.
Yeah,
Just so you
that's
know.
right.
That's what you said.
Elf.
Aren't all elves pretentious?
Exactly.
I love it. All right, so you guys proceed forward, and eventually you make your way to that village I was speaking on, and you find it. It's a village called Nebel. I'm gonna go and describe it to you real quick. Just a small little place. If I can find the. There it is. You arrive at a small village that appears to use livestock as their main form of trade, given the pigs, cows, and chickens. And the farmland appears to not grow a whole lot of food, but it does seem to be enough to keep the livestock and the villagers fed for what they need for that particular portion. So it seems to be that their main trade is livestock. When you arrive, the villagers definitely do take notice, since you guys are very definitely outsiders, and they keep their eyes on you as you pass. And at this point. One second. So I just lost my train of thought. I apologize. So you guys do arrive at this village, and you guys have a moment to take a moment, suck in the village a little bit as you see fit.
a small village like this will seem very familiar to Brenner. He can sort of, I guess, relate to the sort of the quaint life. This is like a smaller one, right? A farming village, you said?
Yes, it would be like bigger than a hamlet, but definitely smaller than a standard village.
Wow, this place
I'd
is
say it's
very...
probably around the same size, if maybe a little bit bigger than the village that Brenner grew up near to. So
Wow, this place is very... what's the word?
Quaint.
Homely.
That's very human.
It is good to see the fate that befell my village has not spread so far. I don't know. I can't.
that was
That's
very
perfect.
ominous.
That was perfect. All right. So as you guys are doing
very
your thing,
well.
and really you are kind of garnering the attention of the villagers because you're just a bunch of strange people who are in town here. You see an older man. An older man, obviously the village elder, and I'll describe him. A man. He seems like he's still able and strong in his body, but he definitely is past his prime. He greets the party, saying, "Oi there! How can I help you, folk? You looking for some meats?"
Don't suppose you've seen a shady carrier carrying a sack of bones, have you?
A shady carrier?
Yes, with a sack of bones.
I can't say that I have.
Dang. Well, we tried.
Well, let me put this in a different way that is clear. We are reclaimers of sort for a temple dedicated to our god up the hill. Something has been stolen recently, and we were going to ask if there's been anyone who's passed through as of late.
Well, we do have the occasional tread and whatnot, especially from Gale, can't seem to say the name, the Dwarven Kingdom not too far away, trading their coins from time to time. We do accept other coin types, though. We don't just take theirs.
Do you take their wish coins?
Wish coins?
Sure.
No, only the king takes that. Were you listening to the story at all?
I've come to not believe your stories now.
What were wish coins again?
Ah, such
Show the coin
Philistines.
you have.
Oh, right. Yes, and I don't think this old man is a king. Okay, I see.
You see, Brenner was paying attention.
He might recognize it. If the thief was fool enough to drop it, he might not understand the value, if there is any. He might think it is simple commerce.
I mean, all I know, I've seen it before. Let me take a look.
Well, from what I saw, I believe our thief was alone, so I don't think he would have been with one of he mentioned merchant caravans, is that what he said?
Yeah, he says merchant caravans do pass through, specifically from the Dwarven kingdoms.
But it's possible that he may have stolen it off of one of those merchant caravans.
Or a member of the caravan had a little nightcap.
Or it's also possible that he decided to not go through towns and not leave a trace.
Well, I could see. Well, if you aren't here to trade, I'll have to ask you lot to skedaddle otherwise, because unfortunately there's sickness passing through here, and we don't want to pass it to...
Sickness.
Yeah.
Yes. Brenner is definitely intrigued about hearing of this illness.
Sickness, Belrose says, just fit in.
So you feel included.
Interesting.
Tell me of the sickness.
Of what sort?
Well, the farmer's boy, went out in the forest and got something mighty, I don't know what to put it. You'd have to see it for yourself, but everything he eats, he can't keep down, and he looks like he's just withering away.
Would this sound familiar to me?
Can
I roll survival?
It is not the same virus as yours, because yours did not cause people to barf up what they eat.
So
Okay.
being like a healer boy of the woods, can I roll survival to see if I recognize
Healer
this?
boy of the
Yeah, definitely. But you're gonna want to examine the person themselves more than likely.
Okay, yeah, so Brenner's gonna be like, maybe I've seen something like this before. Could I take a look at this boy?
I guess I don't see any reason why not. Come, let me see if Mark and Mary are available. He goes and grabs the parents, and you can see them, and they actually look a little pale themselves, as if they've been probably pushing their bodies, or might even be sick themselves.
And this is like the guy's parents.
Mm-hmm. This is the boy's parents. They when you see them, they say, "Oh yes, Mikey, he's just over here. If you wanted to go and take a look, good sir."
Wait, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Mikey?
Yeah, the father's name is Mark. The kid's name is Mikey. And names.
So I imagine going into the area where Mikey is, it's gonna smell very heavily of vomit.
Oh yeah. So here's my description. So you see this boy here, and the moment you walk in, you could definitely smell bile, because they have a bucket right next to his bed that's full of what he's puked up when they've tried to feed him.
Yeah.
And the
Brenner's
boy-
gonna sort of lift his sleeve to his mouth, sort of to like block the smell.
But the boy is definitely gaunt. He's pale, and his extremities are like slowly look like the fingers and the toes themselves look really dark, and it starts to and it kind of gradiates towards his normal skin that's still very quite pale. And as you can tell, he looks malnourished at this point, and he's struggling to keep his eyes open to look at you.
So just sort of Understand. The Book of Shadows is sort of just like a note-taking book, right?
Yes, it is. It's
Where
a
we
book.
put our knowledge.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so yeah, Brenner's going to take out his book and sort of jot things down about Mikey's condition.
Mhm.
And while he's doing that and examining him, could I roll survival?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, you should probably roll your vocation in this case if you want to. You could roll your vocation as that, or actually, what you could just do is roll survival, and if you want to, you can assist with your vocation because your vocation applies to this. Keep in mind, though, there's the possibility of getting a negative bonus if you don't.
Right. So what exactly is it that it would be with the vocation? Is it just the base 3 plus the vocation, or is it also
Yes.
like
It is the base 3 plus the vocation.
what would you set the challenge level as?
It's 3 for what I'm doing in this case.
Yeah, I don't think that would be worth it
Hmm.
in my case. I think I'll just roll survival then. So into the chat, fingers crossed. Okay, that's not absolute terribleness.
Okay.
It's
So,
pretty good.
Yep. So you take a look and you're like, this is definitely not like a normal sickness. This is not something you would see from like a plant normally. You can't think of any naturally occurring virus that is common that this imitates.
What the hell did this boy do? Guzzle swamp water?
The parents, they shake their heads. We don't know. He just came back and from the forest after playing, and he didn't look too good. And before you know it, he was just degrading like this.
Has he said anything, or has he been out of commission?
He doesn't seem to want to talk. Whatever he saw scared him. That's why he came running back.
Hmm. And he hasn't said a word?
He said some things. He said he saw something in the forest, and it scared the lights out of him, and he turned and ran.
He didn't say what the thing looked like at all.
Unfortunately, no.
So he saw something, ran away, and then he got sick. Mikey, is there anything you forgot to tell your parents? Your ma and pa?
He looks up really warily at you, and he can't see. It seems like he can't really speak. He's so exhausted.
Is this the first time something like this has happened here?
They nod.
Has anything happened recently? Some sort of natural event, maybe, or anything significant
Nothing that we
that may have
farmers
caused
would have.
something in the environment to change?
Currently, we wouldn't know anything of the sort. We've been here all our lives and never seen anything like this.
So Brenner earlier noticed that they were also sort of pale themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And have you two also been experiencing these symptoms?
I mean, lately, we just don't feel so great, and food doesn't taste as good. And I'm thinking that we got sick too.
Oh shit, they got COVID. Shit. It's interdimensional. uh, um, okay. Have you been eating the same food as Mikey has been eating?
I mean, we do prepare the food that he eats, but it's the same food all the villagers in town eat. We grow it here.
Is Mikey the only one who is being affected by this illness, or
the parents look at each other and they say, "We think we might be getting it ourselves."
But it hasn't spread beyond this family.
Not that we've known.
So in terms of like where they are in the village, is their hut like in the center of it all, or is it
Well,
outskirts?
they are farmers who work the land itself. I will say this. So that's pretty obvious. But it's a small village, so it's kind of pish posh and kind of just forms with the clearing that they have built over time. So since they do have some farmland that they are specifically, because they're the ones who take care of the crops that feeds the livestock and the families as needed, they're a little bit more towards the edge.
Did Mikey mention where he went? That he saw this creature?
He went out by the river.
I see. Ritter's gonna sort of, I guess, think a bit.
There's a river close by, essentially.
So yeah, Brenner looks around at his companions and says, "So, are you feeling up to helping this poor boy, or?"
Certainly. It would be a shame to see.
I mean, sure. Mostly because this seems weird, and if we can further our knowledge of the Necronomicon, all the better. Though I swear, if this turns out to just be some strange flu that's going to dissipate in a week, I'm going to be very, very cross with everyone here.
I have no feelings either way. I'd much rather be on our quest to find more knowledge, but I'm not opposed to helping those in need, should they help us in return.
Okay. So, at this point, you guys are pretty in agreement on it. I'm assuming you guys step out because you're planning to make your way to the river, and as you do
Yes.
so, you do.
Brenner is at least.
Yeah, as you guys do so, you do see a pair of villagers carrying this real big, awkward object they have bagged up, and they're making their way into the villager's household there, the farmer's house, and you guys are able to proceed on forward.
Wait, so there's another group that's going into the house we just left carrying a really weird object?
Yeah, it's like it would be like something like a picture frame, probably.
I see. Do we have to roll perception, or
Well, you saw
do we
that.
just
I
notice
told
it?
you you saw it.
Okay.
Would I be able to see, like, do they seem, like, suspicious in any way, or just, like...
You can roll a... Is there a specific insight check in this game? Perception's the only insight.
Perception is kind of the general...
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check to see what you can notice about them.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're just doing a job from your perspective.
All right.
So we're going down to the river.
Yes.
Yep.
You guys don't want to investigate it any further? All right. So you guys move on to your way to the river. And at this point,
Did Darius notice anything?
Yeah, I told you, from his perspective, he didn't see anything out of the normal. Looked like they were just bringing a picture frame into the house.
I'm gonna say Brenner noticed it, but he was very excited at the prospect of seeing some disease-carrying behemoth creature that scares some child, and he very quickly forgets about the people with the...
Yeah, for Darius, it's kind of probably a similar story. Like, he notices it and it seems odd, but, like...
It's innocuous.
In his perspective, this is a lot more pressing.
Belrose notices it and just doesn't care enough to do anything.
Okay.
Same thing with Ilfin. It's just there.
Yep.
He's kind of just been out of it this whole time. He doesn't really care why they're doing this. He just kind of wants to get it over with and go back to what they were doing.
All right.
He has kind of a timetable.
Yep. All right. Now, what we're going to do real quick, guys, we're going to take a short break so everybody can use the bathroom and stuff, and I can get a little bit of nicotine in. So, Be back in.
Okay, perfect. I was just about to ask because I wanted to get water. But
Yep. Good time to go in and grab your water, drinks,
Yeah, I
and
could
everything.
probably use I could probably use some water too.
All right, so back here in what, like 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
I am back, by the way.
Alright.
Still here. Just doing some
Is
keyboard.
anyone who's missing?
You there, Belrose? We'll wait for him. Just missing him. How you guys enjoying the game this far?
Pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Mainly just not that experienced with role playing, so kind of trying to figure all that out.
Oh yeah, you just do it naturally, as if you're the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just would do to just lose yourself. Probably start by making a character that's most like yourself, so it's easier to talk as them, and then start branching out into weird and wacky people.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, both Brenner and Darius have, I think, very forgetful memory. So I think Belrose and Ilthun are going to have very low members over.
They're gonna think all humans are forgetful.
I mean, that's just elves in general. It's like, oh, you incorrigible sacks of meat with no tact whatsoever.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there we go. All right, so we got everybody back. So you guys proceed down to the river. When you get to the river, you guys find well, what you would expect to be is a river where they actually have a spot where you would pull water from if they ever want to bucket water over for any reason.
Well, this is boring.
Well, it definitely looks like a river. Now let's see if there's anything going on here.
I'm gonna kind of patrol up and down, I guess, and kind of see if I can spot anything that looks out of the ordinary, like evidence of some sort of strange creature or something like that.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Yeah, so I think Brenner is definitely thinking of definitely being wary of any obvious roars or anything.
Well, I'm
And
getting better.
He would also be thinking like maybe this creature that he saw is like maybe like defecating into the river somewhere like upriver. So maybe like that's what's getting him sick. That's sort of his thought process at the moment.
Okay. When you're going up and down the river, by the way, you do find kind of like a improvised bridge is the best way to put it, where it looks like they took some dead log and rolled it into a specific spot so they could cross the river without having to swim across it. And Brenner, you wanted to go and probably roll a survival check is better for you.
Okay.
Survival
A lot of
applies.
survival going on.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely don't find anything out of the ordinary in this case.
Well, I can't find anything out of the ordinary. What about you guys?
Well, this certainly isn't my area of expertise. I'm here as
Well-
moral support.
Besides the bridge, does the bridge look like something that would have been created by the villagers or just by something else?
nature.
Well, you don't think the villagers would have created the bridge on purpose, unless it was some people just. If anything, it looks improvised. It doesn't look like it was something that It was definitely intentionally put there, but it doesn't look like something that people would reliably use to get shit across the river. It's like, imagine you're a bunch of kids and you decide you're going to cross the river, but you want to constantly swim across it. You set the log across or something like that. Could be a story that would apply. Essentially, it's intentionally put there. You just don't know by who or exactly necessarily why.
Well, it definitely looks like Mikey crossed the river at this point. That's what I think. Should we follow him?
I suppose.
Is it a wide river or is it just like a stream?
It's a wide enough river that you would swim across the river.
So like 20 feet ish, or
Like 10, 20
like
feet.
a big one.
Yeah, 10, 20-ish feet, not like super huge, but like you could definitely swim across it if you aren't incompetent at swimming. And
So
very
it's
much
wide
like
enough where
swimming.
you can't just jump across. Like you need a bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the log or does the bridge, which I'm assuming is just a right? Does it look like rotted, like it's gonna break away the second I step on it, or?
I mean, it's a dead log put across a river.
Okay. Does it look sturdy?
That's the question.
I mean, you can give it a try.
In theory,
Um,
a child.
I guess
So
I'll put a foot on it and kind of see if I were to put my full weight on it, would it snap before I got across, or...
And when you step on it, it seems pretty sturdy, actually.
All right. I guess I'll just...
who's first?
I guess I'll just carefully try and walk across.
Yep, you walk right across it. Doesn't seem to have any issues.
All right.
Okay. Seeing that Darius had no issues, Brenner's gonna do the same.
Go on across.
Okay.
After you, my lord, Daro says as he gives a bow to Ilthin.
I am no lord. That's my father's title.
And Ilton will walk across.
Okay. So across the river, is there anything that stands out that was not obvious before from all the way across, or?
Now that you guys are across, you do see that there's actually a clearing a little bit deeper into the woods if you were to head in.
This looks promising.
So you guys go ahead and head
So
towards
this
the
must
clearing.
be where that boy, what was his name again?
Mikey.
Mitchell? Mackle? Markle?
Mikey.
Milkle.
Mikey.
Mikey. Are you sure? I suppose it doesn't
Sounds
matter.
right to me.
Let's continue.
You guys proceed to the clearing there, and when you get there, you do see something that is out of place. In the center of this clearing, you see like a pile of rocks with some sort of stick effigy of some kind set up.
An effigy like made out of dead things, or is
No,
it like a
it's-
ritual,
it's-
like a ritual thing?
Yeah, more like ritualistic. It definitely looks ritualistic. Some sort of stick design. I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to describe it to you because it looks odd.
Does it look like it's related in any way to Indolous or any of the other gods that we may know of?
It definitely does not look related to Indolous.
Okay. Well, this definitely shouldn't be here. Or, I don't think. Do you think the children built this?
If the child built this, I have many questions for his parents.
Is there anything we could maybe roll to figure out what this is?
I guess clergy roll could help because that would give you an idea of ritualistic concepts. So Balrose, that's your cue.
Daro steps up. Fine, fine. If you're going to beg me, I'll take a look at it. Oh, I did it again. I bet.
Yep.
I'm used to like Avray and other
Yep.
dice rollers because I play a lot of play by post D&D, and you have to type shit and like that. Ooh, that was not great.
Oof.
Oh, you
So-
talk a lot of shit, but then you get hit.
So yeah, you take a look and you're like, well, it definitely has some sort of ritualistic purpose. Not sure what that purpose exactly is.
So
Yeah. Galro shrugs. It's a ritual.
I'd
Well,
like to make a
the
quiet.
way I see
Sorry.
it, we have people getting sick and a spooky cultish ritual object in the woods. So should we burn it?
Before any other conversation goes, I want to just can I make a medium roll, but not tell the party what I find? Like just try to reach out for any spirits in the area.
Yeah, you can go ahead and try and roll a medium roll.
Let me try that. And if it fails, it makes sense because he doesn't really know how to do this yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that's T. Shh, I guess he knows how to use it.
So yeah, you try and use your medium knowledge, as we would put it, and try and confer something from it. And it doesn't seem to have any relation to being a medium in this particular case.
So we can't like hear a spirit.
Not yet, at
Okay.
least. The answer is not yet.
Okay, so it's more just like
A knowledge at this time.
let me try this, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Not
Like-
gonna say anything about it.
Okay. Well, burning a forest down because you think a ritual is happening is widely considered a bad move. Now,
Well, that's how you get rid of curses, right? Just
Person of logic.
burn the hell out of them.
Oh man.
so here's a question for you, because Belrose would have literally done this so many times. How do you undo a ritual
Well,
like safely?
that depends on the ritual, really. So it's difficult for you to say there's a safe way to do it. I mean, some rituals is just kick the thing over, whatever, move on with your life. Others, you don't know. You could. It just depends on where it's from, and with the lack of knowledge on it.
Looking
you're not
around the
sure.
clearing, besides this thing in the center, does it look like any sort of weird, like, incidents happen here? Like anything crazy or, like, any sort of struggle or, like,
Roll a perception
you know,
check for me,
stuff
Darius.
like that?
Roll that perception. There we go. You take a
Also, while
look.
he's doing that, could you describe the effigy again?
So it's a pile of rocks with like a big stick put in the middle, and then they did something with sticks and twine in order to make some sort of intricate design on the top of it.
Does it look like some sort of like writing, or is it just like some sort of squiggles? And, like,
It's
twirls.
an effigy is the best way to answer that question. It is an effigy.
Pile of rock with a stick figure on top. Got it.
When you take a look around, you do take notice that the grass in this area seems to be an odd color of green. It's not the normal color.
Odd as in sicker or as in, like,
Like the color of the grass itself isn't the standard color for this area.
So it's a different
Um,
shade of green, or is it just like dead?
It's like it's a weird shade of green.
So like neon green or something.
Not neon, but it's definitely like if you were to stand at the line, it's not at all. It's not at first noticeable, but with a moment to take a look, you can see that the green here is like a bit darker. It's a deeper green.
So, Belrose puts his hand to his chin, thinks. So
I
here's
say
the-
we just destroy it.
Well, let me think a bit before that. Here's the dealio. Typically, rituals are dismantled in very different ways. Sometimes you can just destroy the object and the ritual is finished, done. Sometimes that will lead to a very gory and messy death. So,
What's the stick gonna do to hurt us?
considering the fact that we don't know what is going on here, let's take it slow. And Belrose is going to take in consideration the fact of what this thing looks like, the fact that the grass is greener. Oh, and also he's going to try to think: has there been any like significant dates recently, or like has the moon been in a certain position recently that would be of note, or yada yada yada, stuff like that?
Nothing that you can think of offhand.
Okay.
Well, what time of day is it right now? Is it still morning?
You guys are in the afternoon hours.
Okay. Mm.
I suppose we could wait around and see if nothing else, we could wait around and see if we can spot anything happen.
Sorry, my internet went out there. Are we destroying the effigy?
We're taking
Well,
our time.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Just making sure because I cut out. It's like we can destroy the effigy or.
He's like, oh, don't do that.
I mean, I'd say that. Fucking, I don't know what Ilfin would do it, but fuck.
Belrose looks distracted for half a second, and then you hear him mumble out, "That's a superstition, you idiot." And then he looks back to the effigy. "I think we should just wait for a bit. Waiting is good."
Brenner does look a little bit impatient, but if he'll solve this riddle, this mystery, he's willing to just be patient.
Okay. So you guys go ahead and chill out somewhere nearby and just wait to see what happens?
Yeah, I'm thinking Brenner will probably hide behind like a nearby bush or something.
Yeah. So you guys just go ahead and make some stealth check. Everybody make a stealth check for me just so that we can get an idea of how well hidden you guys hide yourself.
Ooh,
God.
one of the many skills I am not good at.
Stealth,
Hey.
where to go?
For some reason, it's the skills I'm not great at that I seem to have the highest success percentage on.
And last but not least, Dos. We suck at this.
All right, so
You
you
did pretty well
guys
considering
grab
how
some
terrible I am.
branches and stuff, and you hold them out, pretend like you're trees. No, I'm kidding. You're not that dumb. You attempt to hide. You're just not very good at it. And at that time, you guys wait, and you wait. And as you wait, sure enough, you hear some sounds, and you see something on the other side of the clearing.
Is it like dark now?
Yes. And
But how's the moon? Is it like full moon, half moon?
It is light enough to have moonlight, so it's not like deep dark.
Okay.
So you guys can see on the other side of the clearing something just on the edge of this of the edge clearing itself. Start to walk towards the clearing and then come to a stop. You can kind of tell it. Look around. It definitely has this human-like silhouette. It moves a little oddly, and then you can see it kind of look in your guys' direction and stop. Let's see if it sees you. Nope, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, whoa.
That is
not
way
what I
too many
wanted.
times.
Let's go.
Really, I hope it doesn't have a perception of 55.
It sees all of us.
It sees everything.
And
Yeah, it's true. It's like great.
Yeah. So it sees you guys, as you can tell, and then it kind of it doesn't come any closer, but it stands there staring, and you can hear it speak. What do you want? Why do you hide?
Belrose,
Brenner's gonna whisper to Belrose, should we hit it?
Belrose is like clutching his gut, bending over, a hand to his mouth, doing his damnedest to not laugh at this thing's voice. Like,
Oh God, you're gonna get us killed eventually. Like I know it.
nah, I'm gonna live forever. You guys are, well, I'm gonna get you killed eventually, but I'll live forever.
So you say that, but you're gonna like trip over a rock and fall off a cliff, and it'll be hilarious. But
But then I'll come back like 20 sessions later, and it'll be great.
So
Anyways,
what do you guys want to do?
Oh, so we know that it's clearly noticed us, right?
Oh yeah, it's called you out.
Well, might as well ask. Are you an evil demon?
Belrose starts fucking chuckling. He can't keep it in anymore.
His face palms. It's like, oh my god.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it.
Evil! Fucker, it's not gonna say it.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. Just might as well ask.
Well, that's one way to introduce yourself to someone.
Some may perceive it as such, but no, I am not a demon.
A hag, then?
Oh, somebody knows at least of my name, if not of my nature.
Your name is Hag?
I'm going to die.
We're gonna die. We're so gonna die.
But then you're going to kill me before this thing does.
Oh, well, Ilton's silent. I'm going nuts over here. Ilton's just dead quiet.
Oh man, give me a second here.
Not a noise.
Let me pop up this entry real quick. I didn't expect it to go quite this way. I need to check some details about the creature itself so I can see what I should technically do since you guys are so
He asked
insulting.
if it was a hag, and then it said, well, it knows my name.
Oh man. Give me a second here. I just gotta look it up. Where's the entry about the hags? I apologize.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Fuck, you have me laughing so damn hard. There we go. I am looking for... There it is. Okay. So, at this point, you see the figure kind of move closer into the into the clearing, and what you see is this humanoidish form that seems to sink into the ground itself, that looks like an old lady with moss and fungi growing off of their body, and looks in this like haggard hair that's looks probably made out of like viney stuff, but trying to imitate that of actual hair. I see.
Brenner is gonna whisper under his breath, sort of to himself, God damn, am I a good guesser?
Fucking damn it, dude. I can't even finish this sentence. You make me laugh so quick.
Ilfin will just be like, that's not something to be proud of right now.
You take pride in whatever you can on your deathbed,
Okay.
friend.
Well, I was going to give you the opportunity to move along, but you obviously wish me harm. How about you join? And as she says join, you kind of notice the grass kind of act awkwardly, and you kind of feel almost as if the ground around your feet is moving.
Brenner's gonna turn around and just run.
Oh, I like that idea, and Belrose follows. Like,
Ilton would draw his dagger, but seeing how his party is doing, he'll slowly inch back, keeping eyes on the hag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll probably... Does it just seem as if the grass in the clearing itself is moving, or is it like...
You feel something under your feet, like as if the ground under your feet is moving some as well.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and, like... Seeing as everyone else is kind of retreating, I guess I'll just, like, slowly move out of the clearing as well.
And dips that as well.
Brenner did not sign up for this. He wanted to learn about, disease, not evil eldritch hags.
by the way,
In the middle
Guess
of
what
the
brought the disease?
Nick, I would like. I want to roll a clergy just to see how much knowledge like my character would have about this type of creature in general. If
I'm
he's
going to
come
tell
across
you
it in
none.
his studies. Okay.
None in this case.
When you described the hag, so you said she was like you said something with the shadows, like she was melting into the shadows. Or...
Melting into the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, when you say melting, do you mean like she was literally like in the ground?
Well, when you see her feet, you can't really distinguish her feet from the ground itself.
Okay. Did she look human though, or was she like? Did she have like a really weird?
She has a humanoid silhouette, but definitely is not human.
So she's wearing something, or
So,
I would hope so.
like,
God, I would hope so.
It's like a gangly humanoid-like figure, and you could see they have like she has like this mossiness and like these fungi growing all over the arms and the body and whatnot, and like I said, like the seaweed, like some sort of like seaweed or viney like hair. Think swamp monster, right? Like
so
pretty-
is she? So she is wearing stuff. We didn't just get like a face full of
Oh, you got a
droopy
face
witch
full
tits.
of ugly.
Now
witch
we
tits.
did.
you just
Why?
made that a thing
Why?
on your own. I was not trying to say that,
Oh my
but you
God.
just did. You just got it. There you go. It's all you, man.
Okay.
Oh
You
God.
wanted to know.
Hey, the exact thing you didn't want to know. Did we see it? No. But,
And that's why I ran away.
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go ahead and retreat if I'm correct, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much at this point.
Yeah. So you guys retreat. It appears like the hag actually chooses not to follow you. And you guys make your way back to the village, I'm assuming?
Was it between us and the village, or was it coming from the other side?
You know,
Sure.
because you guys had to cross the river to get to where this was. So you just
Okay. So we went back over there. Yeah, no, back to the village.
Yep.
I assume.
Well, I suppose now we know what's causing this,
Yep.
or at least have a very good guess. The question now is, how do we deal with it?
I'm fairly certain the mysterious old thing around a mysterious effigy was what is causing this illness.
It would certainly
And
make
given-
sense to me.
And given your reactions, I don't think any of you are well versed in combat, so we should not go for this.
By the way, back to that earlier idea. I'm fine with burning the forest down now. Just for clarification. Everyone else is.
I mean-
I'm cool with it now, man.
I suppose a forest fire would be a small price to pay for getting rid of an evil hag.
We can let them deal with that. We've done what we told. We've done what we.
I will say this,
Offered to
though.
do.
If you guys do decide to start a forest fire, you have no idea how many villages or people will be affected.
Yes.
Collateral
we
damage.
want
It's fine.
them to deal
Well,
with that.
we don't have to burn the whole forest down, just a small bit of it.
How are we supposed
Let's-
to control a forest fire?
Well, just build a big campfire. We only have to burn the effigy, not the whole clearing.
Yes, before we come to any conclusion, let's ponder on something. Someone had to have made that effigy. Someone likely other than the hag.
Why would
Right?
you say that?
I mean, generally, creatures from the otherworldly are called here, right? We all agree that it's kind of unusual for a hag to just be trouncing about.
Well, I don't know what hags do.
I don't either. I'm making inferred guesses here.
Well, I think it's
I
safe
will-
to
I will
assume
put it
that
this way, it's
we
safe
know
to
what
assume.
the boy saw.
Yeah, if anything, if you guys have heard of hags, you've only heard of them in myth. It is not something that people tell tale like, yeah, the other week I saw a fucking hag and I slayed that bitch and then went home.
So this is an unusual thing.
And we are not.
I would
equipped
assume
to
it
deal
is
with the
unusual.
Now, like the thing that she did with like melding into the earth, like that was magic, right? Like that was clearly magic.
Or just the nature of the creature itself.
So, well, a magical creature.
Mm.
I mean, it
there
certainly wasn't.
There could be a perfectly rational explanation, my friend.
Rational in D&D?
Well, I'd say that the safest course would probably be to wait till day and then burn the effigy when the old hag isn't around.
And how would this not just anger the hag to kill us? Better question is, why are we sticking our necks out for them? We found the cause of the issue. Let someone who is more versed in it deal with it.
And you suppose a bunch of villagers, farmers, haven't know how to take out a hag?
They can find someone who can. Someone who can do it better than we can.
God,
suppose
that's
a
such
small
a
village.
boring idea, Ilthum.
Boring it may be, but it means we live another day.
And we learn nothing.
As you guys are sitting here
What is one of the-
arguing with each other in the middle of the night, yelling, quite frustrated with the scenario, you see one of the parents of Mikey, Mary, pop out, and she says, "Oh, you're back. Have you any idea what happened?"
Witches.
Witches?
One of
Ah.
Your son came into contact with a hag.
Oh no.
Oh, the boy might be cursed. Maybe
Yep.
we should take a look at him with this new knowledge.
You know of curses?
I know some of curses.
By
Is
all
there
means.
like a hag repellent, like garlic is to vampires?
Well, I'm not sure, but I know a decent amount about curses. I've read a lot about them. I've put many of them on other people. I know a lot
Maybe
about
some
curses.
sort of
Well,
soap?
Let me go make sure he's okay before you come in, okay? And she scurries into her house, and you hear her. Sounds like shifting some stuff around before she comes back out and says, "Please come on in."
Ilton will look at Brenner.
Soap? Really?
What? It was a good idea.
Hags smell bad, yes, but I highly doubt soap would keep them away.
Well, how do you know? Have you ever tried it?
I used to use soap daily. Have you?
Yes, if soap won't keep away his smell, then it certainly won't keep away a hag's.
Guys are so fired to each other.
Bah, whatever. Let's just get this mess sorted out.
So you head on in and go into the boys' room, and you see that the only real change to this room is that they have a new bucket, and that picture frame they brought in is sitting in there with a cloth over the top of it this time.
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly is that? And I point to the frame.
Oh, it's just a piece of memorabilia for him, hoping that the gods will save him.
May we see it?
She looks a little concerned. I guess. She goes over and she moves the cloth away, and sure enough, that shit looks like it came from the damn Church of Bones.
Ah.
Well, then. That's an interesting development.
Well, son of a bitch.
She looks really ashamed.
That makes this easier.
Well,
now
slap me
we're-
in the knee and call me Stanley.
Belrose puts his fists on his hips and looks disappointingly at her and goes, "Well, now we're going to have to burn down both the forest and the village."
What?
Calm, Belrose.
I think...
I'm joking, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
No, just the
Some joke
forest.
that is.
Don't worry, we're not
What?
gonna burn down
What?
the forest.
What's going on?
It's really good. That's strong.
Why would you burn down the forest? You'll get everyone killed.
We're
No,
joking.
that's the small
Mostly.
bit of it. The evil bit.
What?
Anyways, I'm going to have a look at your son now. I think he might be cursed. So give me a moment.
Why am I here?
So, this artifact from the Church of Bones, does it have sort of like an Indolous-esque aura around it, or like does it feel holy?
I mean, you look at that thing, it goes right where it's supposed to, and it depicts some sort of life that is not the standard of life.
Now, was this one of the artifacts that was this like the main one?
Yeah,
The
this is
veil,
the
or is
one
it
you
just one
guys
of the
were-
other ones?
This is the one you were looking for. It's the
Oh,
right
okay, so
shape,
this is
it
the
fits in place.
this is the
This
main
is
one, the tapestry.
Yeah, this is the one you were looking for.
Belrose is going to crouch down over the child's bed and take a look over him, but he's coming at it from a purely spiritual type of place,
Mhm.
like hokey pokey nonsense,
Mhm.
as opposed to the anatomical medicinal way
Mhm.
Brenner
The
was.
mystical bullshit. Got it.
Yeah. I assume I can roll.
Your
I'll go ahead and save you the
essential
roll and let you know that in this particular case, your knowledge is not going to help you.
Okay.
I will say though, your knowledge will give you, does impart upon you the thought, hey, this might be one of those cases where you can end the suffering.
Are you telling me to kill this kid?
I'm just telling you that the teachings that do leave this option open to you.
So, I have nothing. This is strange and weird, and I don't like it.
I suppose
Well-
our best bet would be to try and defeat this creature in any way we can.
Well, we've already found what we were looking for, so I suppose there's no reason not to stick around to see this.
You can't.
Oh,
take
was
it.
I cutting off just then?
No, you weren't.
Okay.
The lady says, no, you can't take it. It's going to heal him.
Well, it's not. But here's the thing. We are men of Indolous, right? Everyone?
For
Agreed?
better or for worse,
That would be
yes.
correct.
Yes.
Okay. So, one of the core teachings of Indolous is to gather knowledge of the realm beyond. And what we have here is a host of wealth of knowledge. In that forest, a hag, a creature from myth that we have no idea how it functions, how it works, or what it knows. To pass this opportunity up would be against the teachings of Praxis. Sorry, Indolous, you don't know that name. None of you are as cultured as me.
Sorry.
Anyways, as I said, to go against that would be to go against the teachings of Indolous, and quite morally bankrupt, by the way, to just let this poor boy, innocent, most likely, I hope likely, just die and wither away.
Certainly.
So what are our options?
Hey,
Wow.
could you go ahead and roll a clergy check for me, Belrose, so I can present you with options that make sense?
Sure, and I'll spend a destiny point here. But
Are you using it to give you advantage?
yeah, it essentially turns. I did not fucking need it. Goddamn.
You
Well,
done fucked up, kid.
Hell yeah. Either way, good dice.
Better safe than sorry.
So, rolling 5 successes, a couple thoughts come to mind. In the teachings of the Necronomicon, it does mention that you could end life in order to end suffering. It talks about protecting life through healing. It also talks about how ending one life could save many, or save the lives of those who want to cling to the veil, as they would say. So you have options as to how you want to handle this. And when it comes to the hag, it really doesn't seem to have any specific thing to talk about there.
I mean, it would certainly seem that ending this hag's life would certainly save this village.
Well, in Belrose's mind, the teaching means we need to kill this kid so this disease doesn't spread. But he's not going to say that in front of the mother.
Yeah.
He has tact.
Are you
by the way,
insane?
Brenner, you can definitively say that that has the viruses right now, it will continue to spread if you don't deal with the people who are currently infected.
Don't tell Ilfin that he has a very sharp dagger.
So, first and foremost, what we should do is put this child into quarantine. Currently, what's going on is very, very dangerous. And in fact, I do not like being in a room with him.
You said the parents were feeling symptoms similar to that, yes?
She nods.
Perhaps they need to be in quarantine as well.
Perhaps.
And that
I s-
being done, I suppose we should round up some of the more able-bodied villagers and go after that old hag.
At the very least, we will have putting you into quarantine will give us some more time to solve the
It'll-
situation.
It'll help prevent the spread for sure.
Wait a minute, there was people coming in here when we were leaving, were they not?
Well, then we really need to kill that old hag.
Yeah. Well, then at that point, it doesn't matter until
that
if it's
point,
that
if it's
easily
spreading,
spread.
If it's
The
spreading,
first
we're
priority should be to kill the hag.
at
Once
this
that
point.
is done, any lingering effects may be dealt with.
I'm
after-
sorry to say, at this point, it's best to cut the head of the infection off before it spreads to kill everyone, including us if we stay it too long.
Well, while you do that,
All right. So you said that shit. The wife is not dumb, and she goes, "No." She turns and she runs out of the house real quick.
Okay, Ilfin, are you an idiot? A buffoon?
We are
Go
not
on
going.
ahead.
We are not going to kill this child. If we
This
can
child
help
may
it.
bring the end of the entire village and
All
our
right.
lives.
So as you're having this
No,
conversation,
no. That's not what I was talking about. I was considering killing the child, but I understood it would be far, far too dumb to bring that up in front of his mother.
It's better than beating around the bush.
All right. By the way, as you guys are having this conversation, it's not to take long before like 3 different villagers, as well as the elder and the mother, all arrive, and the elder looks. He goes, "What's going on here? From what I understand, it seems like you guys want to do some rather dastardly things in our town now."
I'm merely stating an option.
okay,
That
well,
it's hard to swallow, yes,
see-
but it's still an option.
What
Okay.
kind
So
of option
there's
are we
some
talking about?
of us.
We will
Tell
not
me,
use this
tell me
option.
here, tell me now here how this is gonna save our village by don't taking down this little boy.
Do you want to die from the same thing that is killing this boy?
well, there's options.
Okay.
There are
I want you to roll a
options.
I want you to roll a persuasion check.
Who?
Get
Ilthun.
it that.
Ilthun, roll that persuasion check, please.
Oh god.
3.
All right. He's like, I mean, the parents are sick too, though. What are you gonna do then?
Look.
Let's.
Well,
Perhaps
let's
we-
take
we
a
should
step
not-
back. Let's take a step back. We found the root of this disease in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario, dealing with the root will be enough to prevent any further harm from coming to
Any villager, even
any
the boy.
villager, even the boy.
Oh,
Right.
that's really positive
Let's-
thinking.
Let's put this.
You guys are really. Oh, you're extrapolating way too much happiness out of this.
Let me put this in a way you can understand. Generally, when you have a patient with cancer, the first thing
The
is
equivalent of medieval
Do
cancer.
we know what cancer is?
It's the
Is there
equivalent of
cancer in
medieval
this world?
cancer.
with a cancer. The first thing you do is try to find a way to treat it with causing minimal harm to the patient. And I assume the patient is down here. You don't just immediately take a hacksaw to their leg and call it a day done. That is a very, very poor surgeon.
We're in medieval times. That's exactly what they would do. What are you talking about? That's exactly what they would do.
He's not wrong.
Uh,
He's 100% correct.
Oh, you're right. Oh, your leg's fucked up.
Listen,
I'm dead.
I was under the impression that we were enlightened men of the cloth who studied medicine and
Yes.
science.
So at least
I'm a
some of you.
warrior. What the fuck? No. I am a martial artist.
Okay, well, okay. We know that this illness was most likely caused through magical means or something of that sort. So it's possible that we could use that same magical sort to fix it.
Exactly. And we have presumed too much. We have presumed, first of all, that this illness is naturally spread when it is something more arcane in nature. We have presumed it is an illness, first of all, that it works beyond, based off of those rules. We don't know enough, and we are men of the Necronomicon, are we not?
I will say that
We
Brendan
should strive
did
to know.
determine that this is some sort of actual infectious disease of some kind. So it has infectious properties based on the fact that it got to the parents and that it is some
Well,
sort of disease.
it could perhaps
That's
be
progressing.
some sort of thing that only infects a certain bloodline, maybe? That's a possibility.
You're in a small village in medieval times.
Oh.
Buddy.
Sweet home.
I would say the first
Anyways.
priority is to ensure that
You gotta be better with that push to talk because you're cutting yourself off mid sentence.
Oh, I'm not using it. I'm just thinking. I think the first course of action should be to deal with this hag, who I believe we. I'm assuming we're now mostly thinking that this hag is possibly the cause of this.
Okay, I think Brenner's gonna speak up and speaking both to our group and the elder.
Yeah, these guys are just paying attention now because you guys are debating a lot of really tough concepts, and they're not sure what to do after this guy almost convinced them to kill the family.
We found a hag in the woods, and the options that I see are we kill the hag, we burn the effigy, see what happens. If that doesn't fix it, then we can consider the tough choices.
Going with that choice,
That would be.
are you capable
Ideal.
of fighting?
Well,
All of you.
Well,
Here
I
is
can
the-
do things with pointy metal on a stick.
exactly. And here is the good news. Belrose looks to the townspeople. You, all of you, who here wants to save this boy?
They all go.
Exactly. We have an angry mob.
There you go. Now you're thinking with some fucking fire.
Exactly. Let us get torches and burn down the forest.
Not
That's
the
that is.
effigy. The
By the
effigy.
way, that is a joke, everybody. Like Belrose
Yeah,
says,
they-
they, like will probably like start roaring.
He's exaggerating. We are only burning the evil part of the forest.
We don't know how far the evil. We don't know where the evil part of the force is in its entirety.
Anyways,
I think they
The
get the
clearing
point.
seems to be a good start.
They get a point, and they all gather their equipment to go burn the witch and
angry mob, angry mob.
Bitch.
Hey, yeah, there's no one here to see me kill the kid. and fix the problem.
Oh my
Uh,
god, you're so terrible. All right, well, we're gonna take a short break so everybody can take a pee, grab a drink, whatever it is, and I can enjoy my nicotine. We'll be right back in 5, okay, guys?
That's why I love talking out of character. I say things that he wouldn't do, but it's a very valid option.
Yes, it is.
I'm a bit wary of whenever a person immediately jumps to kid murder. Like, let's
to be
bypass like steps A, B, C, and go
If it's
immediately to kid
parasitic,
murder.
if it's something
step
that's
B,
infectious,
step C, and then step child murder.
Yeah.
if it's something that's infectious that can kill the entire, that could spread to the entire village and to the party, because we don't know how long we're gonna be here. Being in
No,
the same
here's
room with
the
kid.
logic though. If it's that fast spreading that we don't even have like a night to deal, we're all dead anyhow because we were in a
But
room
do
with
we,
this kid.
do we know that though? That's the thing.
Exactly.
I mean,
we don't. So why
I
are
mean,
we
we
jumping
don't
to
know
killing the
anything.
kid?
We don't know anything about it. What if it spreads like through dead bodies as well?
Well,
And
that's
by
the thing.
handling the dead body, we
Hilton
can
is
spread it
on
to
a
everyone.
mental timer that none of you know about. So he wants to be done with this and go put the thing back so we can get the power and shit. He has his own thing to do.
Exactly. But like,
So he's like, you know what? Fuck this. Here's the blunt, really hard option that's gonna suck, but it's gonna fix the short-term problem. Hey, we got it done. Let's take this thing back to the Church of Bones.
Well, it's like saying it's like, okay, so I don't know, it just feels very extreme. Like, okay, let's just assuming that the worst scenario is true, and we have to immediately go to the option.
That's
That
that's his
would that-
character.
Quarantine
That's
will
who he
be
is.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm not trying to validate what he's doing. I'm saying this is what he would do because this is his character.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
but-
not saying
do
it's a good
believe, though,
idea.
that-
Any form of this. I'm playing my character.
yeah, that's fine. But just know that my
Yeah.
character can hold a grudge.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, hold
by
the
the way,
grudge. That's perfectly fine.
I want you to know that if Belrose like thought this was a
Excuse me.
really fast acting disease, he'd be fucking slitting that kid's throat fast. Like he'd be down for it. He'd be with you in there. But like he thinks that first of all,
I mean-
he doesn't want to deal with an angry mob coming after us after we kill this kid because that's gonna happen. Second of all,
No, if we're smart about it.
Well, you just told
Yeah.
the village over.
And
Yeah,
I
we're
almost
smart.
convinced the village elder. Hello. He almost
Listen.
like, you know what? That's a good idea, dude.
Yeah, you see, you're saying let's be smart about it, but you brought the idea up around the mother of the child and told her to her face.
Sometimes it's the bitter pill. Fuck, my pen's stuck. Pen, come here.
I've returned, by the way.
Welcome.
All right.
Brenner, you there? Ilthun, you there?
Yeah, just playing with my cats because they're being weird.
I'm here.
All right, awesome. So we got everybody. So you guys go ahead and put together the few people in this village who are able-bodied to fight, which is the village elder and 3 strong people.
Let's get down to business.
Yep.
We're gonna watch you all die.
The,
Preferably.
you guys grab some torches, they get their pitchforks, and they go off to go take on the hag.
Do they have any
I-
actual weapons on their bodies?
The
Or is that
pitchforks.
just torches and pitchforks?
Torches and pitchforks.
Damn it, I can't. Damn it, nothing good to loot. I mean, borrow. I mean,
Belrose gets absorbed in the mood, and now he has a pitchfork and torch.
Yes.
I imagine they also probably have just like tools other than pitchforks.
Yeah, let me take a look at the different items on here. We have
So you probably
some
like
of them
woodcutter axes.
some of them have like a sharp stick, but otherwise it's like a hoe, pitchforks, and yeah.
Is
so
there
the only
like a,
weapon in the
is there
company
like a
is-
walking stick or some more other sort of like staff hanging around?
You
Do they
can
have any
always grab a stick.
sides?
You can always grab a stick.
All right, I'll just grab a stick then.
I have my axe that I have, so I have that.
Your axe and my dagger. We will watch them die.
Now, for the sake of rules on these, the tools do have like 1 less combat die for what they would imitate if they were to imitate a weapon, since they're all improvised weapons.
All right.
So, you guys all make your way.
How does that work with proficiency? So it would be like what we have in the.
So when you go to roll for a combat roll and you have a proficiency in the weapon that you've chosen, you add that proficiency regardless to the combat roll.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just gonna get 1 less bonus die from the weapon itself because the
All right.
weapon's
Oh.
improvised.
Oh yeah. How much would an axe give you,
An axe.
or like a hatchet axe,
So you're talking like a hoe?
like a one-handed axe?
Yeah, let me quickly. I don't know why I didn't leave this open.
0d6, no modifier, it says.
Okay, so no modifier.
There you go.
I guess that would count as a small weapon then, or. Okay.
Yeah, small weapon.
Is that the one that you can use to enter close combat?
Yes.
Okay.
So you guys all go on in with your weapons and torches, and you eventually arrive at this clearing. And when you arrive there, the hag is not even going to try to hide. It shows itself, and you guys roaring. You got these roaring fires. These villagers, oh, burn the witch, style shit going on here.
Burn the witch.
Yep, and the hag comes forward and looks at all of you guys. It doesn't seem like it's too concerned, and it says, I see that you all are coming to burn me.
Yes, Belrose puts himself in front of the crowd. But before then, I'd have a couple questions I'd like answered.
1 second here. Let me
Oh boy.
Give me just a second.
Or most among. Okay, I don't
What are
say
your
this, but I don't.
questions?
Sorry, go ahead.
First of all, what are you?
I am a hag. I come from the distant edges of this world.
Why are you here?
So that I can help myself to new places.
What?
Yeah, this Yeah, it sounded good at first, Nick, but then the voice changer like went up 5 pitches.
Voice just went up in pitch so much.
It was
Yeah,
like, okay,
I don't
it's
know.
kind of creepy, and now we're fighting Mickey Mouse. Hey,
Yeah, I don't know what knob you accidentally turned, but
Oh, someone clip that, please.
what's even great is like us hearing Nick cough in that voice too. Like it's great.
oh my god.
I came so that I can get what I need from the people. More of my kind.
Oh. And is that going to bring harm to these people?
It most definitely does, because they become me.
Well, I had hoped for. Well, is there any chance that you can be persuaded to just stop?
Yes, I do not wish to be burned.
Oh, so you'll just leave if we promise not to burn you?
Yes.
Well, that's grand.
Well, then you'll just. But I suppose then you'll just go to another village.
Oh, true. Damn.
Well, I could make a promise. Maybe with an offer.
Promise? An offer? A supplementary question before we go with this offer. Can whatever you did to the boy who's sick be undone, or is he stuck at such?
That is my offer. The boy will not turn into me, only die. He is too premature.
So the boy will die, and is there any way to stop that, even?
With the right ingredients, including one of these. The hag goes ahead and grabs some sort of mushroom off of her shoulder and just tosses it out to you.
So sorry, this will stop him from dying, or will stop him from turning into her?
It can save his life when mixed with the right ingredients.
But then the offer is incomplete, sorry. Bad grammar.
I will still leave. That is my promise, that I will not come back. With it, I cannot propagate.
I need to turn you up a bit, because you sound very low in that voice. Can you repeat that last bit for me?
I can not propagate with you having the right ingredients to prevent it, so I would just simply leave.
And how do we know you'll keep your promise?
What point does it have anymore if you have taken what I have?
Wait, so did she
Okay.
toss the mushroom to anyone specifically, or just sort of like on the ground?
She just tossed it out to you guys so that you guys can take it as you see fit.
So, I want to roll a perception to be able to tell if she's lying or such.
And could I roll something to figure out if I know what kind of mushroom that is?
I will say now is not the time to do that check, only because you would need time. But Belle Rose, go ahead and make a perception check to tell if they're lying.
I'd also like to make a perception check, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I I will put down a destiny point for this because this seems important.
I'm just gonna go with the base 4. It does.
Ah! I keep doing that. So technically 3 successes.
3 successes. From what you can tell, it seems genuine. It's just hard to read it because it's talking so nonchalantly, as if this entire scenario means nothing to it. You're not sure if that's an effect of it being the kind of creature it is, or if it's confident that it can murder all of you, or what the case may be.
All right. So to run over this once more, we promise not to hurt you in any way. And in exchange, you give us this, which will save the boy, stop him from turning into one of you. And you leave and don't come back. Got the deal?
And what of his parents? Is this enough for them too?
Unfortunately not, and there will never be enough. But the deal does stand.
So only enough to save one soul.
Not one soul.
Will it
just
spread
those
if you
who
if
have
you leave?
already progressed so far. What'd you say, Elvin?
Will it leave? If you leave, will it still progress and leech to others?
Yes, you will have to deal with the parents in some fashion.
Brenner's gonna turn to the village elder and be like, "What do you think of this?"
I'm done right now. Want to just burn that bitch?
Well,
I think that ends with more corpses than this other option.
I am right scared. Shit in my pants a second ago.
So
Wait,
I
if I get
think
her, sorry.
from you, I think this is a good deal, by the way. But I think it should be left up to the townspeople, not us.
Obviously, above game. So if we have a mushroom that'll save the boy's life, but the parents will still die, and it'll still spread to the rest of the village.
Oh no,
correct?
they're not going to die. They're going to turn into hags.
Well, they'll turn into hags, and then that would still spread to the rest of the village, and everyone will turn into hags.
Yep.
So well,
you have to deal with the parent. You have to deal with those two at least.
Yeah, so we'll have to exile them or something, or do something with them.
Make sure they know that.
Yeah.
Because if
are the parents
here,
by the way? I assume the parents aren't here, by the way.
No, they're not, because they wouldn't be able-bodied. They're fucking sick.
And we also we make sure to put them in. We would tell them to go into quarantine. Yep. Or I would assume Belrose
I assume
with
you
his
guys put
quarantine.
him into quarantine as well. I'm assuming you guys weren't being dumb about that.
Are you willing to hold on to this offer for say an hour while I go back and run this over with the parents or something?
I have nothing but time.
Okay, good. Everyone freeze. I will be right back. And Belrose picks up the mushrooms and the stuff and he runs back to the village.
All right. So you guys are sitting there, and these guys, they're fucking pissed, but they're also scared shitless because this thing is scary. They're fucking white knuckling their torches and weapons, waiting for that thing to make a wrong move, and it is freakishly still, almost as if it's a tree when it doesn't want to move.
I'll go ahead and ask the village elder.
You understand that even if you save the child, your lives may be forfeits if it doesn't work.
Well, damn there, no matter what, we're gonna have to get rid of that thing, and then we'll have to solve the rest, right?
But you could turn into that thing.
Yeah. As far as I know, the only two people sick of them, well, fortunately, Mary and Mark, What? See.
How many else have seen them since the child became ill?
The hag speaks up at this point. It doesn't easily pass. It takes quite a bit of time. There would have to
A
be
nebulous
quite
answer.
a bit of exposure, not just a few minutes. It's the spores. They must be breathed in enough amount that they can propagate and grow. Well,
I'm thinking of stuff that Ilton would have no idea. Fuck. I hate
Brenner's
having a
gonna-
brain of my character not.
Brenner's gonna speak up. Did you build this effigy, or did it summon you?
this effigy was just a result of my presence. I found it here.
I'm really glad Brenner asked that question because I forgot to. Thank you.
What would you see? The children, they find me interesting.
Kind of fucked up kid finds you interesting.
Is that in character or out of character?
Out of character. I have in character. I do the voice.
Oh.
I'm gonna be real.
Is that
When
okay?
I was like 10, if I saw like a hag, I'd find it interesting.
I would.
I
What the
would be afraid.
I'd be like, what the fuck? Out!
Some
I
are
throw rocks
scared,
at you.
Some
At him.
find it interesting. They built this for me.
Oh, the children built it.
Oh, even better.
All right, so we're gonna go back to Belrose now. So Belrose, you make your way back to the village, and you are talking. You make it to the parents.
Yeah. I want to make it clear. Before he goes into the parents' house, he stands out for a moment. He looks into a nearby bucket full of water. He checks his reflection. He looks back at his hair. He does the ha, 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 breathes it to his hand, checks his smell of his breath, adjusts his shirt, and then walks in.
The parents stand
So-
up. Have you dealt with the hag? Is it gone?
Well, it's not gone yet, but we managed to find a way to save your son.
Oh, thank the gods.
There's a catch, though.
What is that?
These hags, they require deals and such to solve problems such as these. It is willing to release your son of the curse, but in exchange, you two will have to go with her.
They look into the
Or
room
they
with
could
their
die.
son. They look into the room with their son, and they think about it. Go and roll persuasion, because I know you're trying to persuade them to go.
I'm lying to them, by the way, just straight up. Like,
I know you're
about to say,
lying. Fuck it. I guess you could do deception. Deception works too.
How old
Yeah.
is their kid, by the way?
Their kid is like 7.
by the way,
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. in Belrose's head, this is like a good lie because they're gonna die no matter what in his head, but at least this way they could have like an honorable sacrifice moment. So like he's doing it for them. Really. Anyways. I'm gonna spend a destiny point. Because this is an important bit and I need to bring up my character sheet.
So this
Got
is
no
your last
destiny
one,
point.
right?
Yeah, he's all 3. This is his 3rd one. He's all
Shit,
about them
dude.
destiny points, man.
Yeah, you gotta spend money to make money, my guys.
Do they refill? No, there you go.
I actually don't know
Eventually,
the
so
rules
four.
for when they refill, to be honest.
I think you get
Uh,
them back
one
after
refills-
like big moments.
One
Or,
refills
like,
at the end of every
session.
session, and then like at the end of big moments, some refill. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'll have to pay attention to the whole big moment portion then.
Also, it has literally not mattered once when I've used the destiny point. I'm just
every time.
too good.
Like, oh,
actually, in this particular one, they're going to oppose. So we will see.
I don't think they could
Nope.
possibly
oh.
win that.
So you won thanks to your destiny roll, more than likely.
No, it was no. I just rolled fucking baller as shit. Anyhow, I'm a really good liar.
I like that face. So, when do we have to go?
Well, now
Can we say bye to him?
of course.
Mary and Mark go over to their child, Mickey, and they both plant a kiss on his head. Mother hugs him tightly. He wakes up just for a second. Mom? Is everything okay? This is fine, it's fine. Just go back to sleep. Okay? Have sweet dreams. And at that point, they go ahead and get up and they shut the door behind him. And they walk out with you.
Yeah. And then Belrose will walk with them back to the group standoff that's like been there for like an hour, I feel. Just
all right, so you guys sit here.
It's like one of those.
Mexican standoffs.
Yeah, it's like one of those Mexican standoff scenes where it's just like,
And Belrose returns with the parents.
these two have agreed to go in exchange for their son's life.
The hag looks at you and says, "Very well. Come with me. We will leave." The parents nod and go ahead and follow, and the hag shambles away in its weird, unnatural motions, makes its way into the clearing and onwards. The parents follow. The villagers, standing there together, they all not sure how to feel about this moment, but everybody makes their way back to town and put their torches out, put away their pitchforks, and that leaves that moment at the that day over, because it was probably late in the day and everybody just kind of tries to get some sleep.
I suppose there isn't really a need for this, for them to have this frame anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it is our rightful property.
Mm-hmm. Although you guys still have to create the toxin that you're going to solve the problem with.
The toxin?
Or
the toxic.
Tonic. I apologize.
Tonic.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, wait a second.
I meant to say tonic. Yeah, or any toxin if you're going to put it that way, yeah.
Yeah, well, we got the parents away, so now we can kill the kid.
So whoever happens
By the
to
way,
have an applicable skill could apply their abilities.
By the way, I just want to say to everybody, this is a tragedy. This is very sad. But also, this was a really good story. I'm going to write this down and sell it and make a killing.
Fucking brutal. Fuck. All right, well, so who wants to go ahead and put their hands at making this tonic in order to save the child real quick?
Oh, please don't fuck up. Oh, God.
Who's doing that?
Whoever has the skills, somebody with some knowledge.
I'm assuming
of
Brenner
healing
would be the
powers.
most.
Well, what skill is it that would?
I assume Brenner or Darius, because Ilton would just.
Okay, so Brenner.
I mean,
you
probably
do have
Brenner.
Scholar of Anatomy, and you have Survival, which would be the two applicable there. And Darius.
I'd say.
Not really.
If you want to spend a destiny point, now would be the time. I don't really have anything
Yeah, you probably want
Alright.
to.
I don't really have anything that would be applicable in this situation, so
Nope, neither do I. I'm good with a blade, so
Yep.
I have the nuclear option.
Now, granted, you can also just spend a destiny point after the roll to get a guaranteed
Mhm.
6. So if you just want to,
yeah.
play it by ear, see if you need it.
Oh
That
well,
works.
you can either do it before to get
Yes. Now, for this particular case,
to have
because you're
threes
making a
count,
special
right,
tonic,
for advantage,
yeah,
or you could just spend destiny points at the end to just add to your roll, right?
yeah, it basically makes one roll a success. So yeah, what you can do, and this is how the roll will work, is you'll make a survival check, and you then have to make an assist check with your Scholar of Anatomy, because this is where you have to apply your vocation to make it work.
Oh boy.
Now,
Okay.
something I do want you guys to notice that you guys probably hadn't noticed until now is that you guys have had no issues with speaking with each other, but those who couldn't speak Elven had to often be interpreted through the humans in this, just so you know.
oh,
I forgot to mention
Uh,
that earlier.
Right, that's a
I-
thing.
I have human common. I don't know if it's on the old sheet I gave you, Nick, but I took off a skill point from one of my things and took human common.
Oh, you did. You sure freaking did.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
So
Fuck the
he's been
humans.
able to talk just fine. Ilthun, whenever you were talking to the group, they either didn't understand you or somebody interpreted for you. I forgot to mention that detail.
So that's on you for getting them scared.
Yep. That is kinda on you.
Well, in
That's
that
on you,
case,
Melrose.
okay, well, yeah.
No, I like to imagine what happened is like you said one word in human that was like exterminate or something, and then that's how it happened.
Just like gibberish, blah blah blah, kill child, blah. blah.
That's what I like to
Yeah.
imagine to reconcile.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so it looks like I'm spending some destiny points.
Yeah. So you got to make your
So
first
everyone
roll
just
for
looks at
for
Brenner, and
survival.
Brenner is just gonna sort of shrink into himself with all the pressure.
Yeah, and Ilton would just slowly pull out his dagger and start inspecting the blade. No pressure.
Yeah, pressure. Yep. All right. Roll that survival check. And add whatever
Ooh.
destiny in any way you want.
All right, so I'll spend one destiny on the survival check, to get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed.
3 successes. Now you got to roll the assist skill. That's
Okay, and I'm also gonna spend a destiny point on this.
Nice.
In fact, actually, this one's probably the one I needed it more. Please be at least one. Come on, fingers crossed.
oh
Oh no!
Ooh.
Ah.
Hey, but here's the thing. I think you can spend a destiny point to re-roll that. Let me check though.
Can he double down on destiny points?
You can. I'm fairly
Yep.
sure.
You can spend your destiny points willy-nilly if you want to. Yeah.
Yes, a
Okay.
destiny point may be spent to force to re-roll a destiny roll, which is what you just did, unless they have another but they must
Isn't it-
accept the result even if it is worse. But
All right,
it cannot
so-
physically be worse.
This
Well,
is
a
your
destiny
reroll.
roll is something else, though. A destiny roll is like the 120.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the thing I would roll if I need to come up with whether something is positive or negative. It's something I do on my side.
Then you fucked.
So you
I
can
could spend a destiny point to just add at least one to that roll, right? One
Yeah.
success.
yes, you can turn it into 1 success, which would give you 1 success total.
But it would be better than 0, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is better than 0.
That'd still be a narrative fail.
Yeah, basically your
it-
success total would come to 1 because you had a seal of 3, so I have to take 2 off, and so you have a total success of 1. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's success, right? Not sure.
1 success, and that 1 success. Well, you go to make it, if you're not familiar, the assist skills can if you don't at least meet, you get negatives. So, if you weren't aware of that,
This is why I don't like the assist skills, because they're all useless.
they're useful if you pumped points into them. Super useful if you pump points into them.
Well, they're okay if you pump like a bunch of points.
Can
into
you
them.
like assist another person on a
Yes.
roll?
Yes, you can.
Can-
You can throw. You can
Can I-
choose to throw an assist in order to give the same exact type of bonus or minus.
Can I have like thrown in an assist here to help him out with this? Because I feel like this is something you would need help with.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But it's got to be survival that you're using. You can't use your vocation on this one.
You don't have any more destiny points.
I don't. Yeah, true. But
So maybe, hey, if Darius maybe could roll,
Wait,
or
let me
Iltha,
think.
and then
For
they could
what?
spend all
To
their
assist
destiny points
skills,
to make
it has
sure
to
it's
be
not terrible.
to
guess
assist the
I
skill, it's
could.
got to be a vocation. You got to use a vocation to do it. So you got to have an applicable vocation.
okay.
So who has an applicable vocation?
I'm not here to-
Medium does not. Mortician.
I'm not a healer.
Mortician's the only one who has an applicable one because everybody else doesn't. So Darius has to be the one who rolls an assist if he's going to roll an assist.
All right.
Right, so
I
yeah,
guess
just
I will
roll,
then.
roll the assist normally, and then just spend destiny points at the end to add like
Okay.
a flat.
And how many? What would I roll?
4. You're going to roll 4
Just
dice.
3 plus. All right.
I think it's base 3 plus whatever. Okay,
All right. So I guess I'll spend.
spend 2 or 3 because that actually adds to my score.
Screw it. I'll spend 3.
So
Okay,
you
so
add-
that brings them.
Well, you can.
So that brings it up to
spend-
+2.
He can spend 2. He can spend 2, and when he spends 2, he gets 2 additional successes. He gets 1 additional success, so that puts you at 2
Okay.
successes.
Is that how it works? I thought it was just you could like add as many as you want.
Unless I mean I don't think he has enough dice to add another. Unless there's a destiny option that lets you just add.
I didn't know that it was limited by the dice.
Well, let me double check.
A character may spend a destiny
Oh,
point
yeah.
after any D6 based roll to add a single win in addition to what they receive. They may do this multiple times on any roll or separate
Oh,
rolls.
yeah,
for
I
as
guess,
many
it
destiny
is just an add-on then. We'll just take it as an add-on then. So that gives you 2. That puts you at 3 total successes. 3 total successes is exactly what you needed, by the way. So good use of destiny points. Well done. So with Darius and Brenner working together and really putting their all into this moment, literally they managed to make it happen. So now at this point you are able to create the toxin that saves the little boy.
The tonic.
Tonic.
I keep saying toxin.
Antitoxin.
Antitoxin, yeah. You know what I mean. I can't fucking talk apparently. But yeah,
It would have been a toxic if we had failed.
yes.
Yeah, I would have been a toxin if we had failed.
Yeah. At least by like 1 success, definitely. Let's see. Now that you guys have accomplished that, the boy does get better with like the next day. He already is getting better. You can see that it was effective, and the villagers get together and they do apologize profusely, very profusely, for taking the bit of tapestry, and they give you each 10 silver pieces to use in the future.
Real quick, by the way, even though Belrose did like literally nothing to help with the tonic, like after it's done and it's applied, he comes out of the house like with gloves on. He like warily takes them off and he goes, "We saved Mickey."
You fucking guys fucking killing me. All right.
You did jack shit.
And right after he does that, Brenner does the exact same thing and says, "We saved Milkful."
We're gonna walk out.
I did kill Mickey.
I'm assuming you say that in Elvish,
Yeah, I'll just say.
and so nobody.
I like
Please do
to
not translate
imagine
that.
that Belrose comes out, he says that there's a huge like hurrah.
Yeah.
Brenner comes out, he says that there's like a hurrah, but it's like more confused, and then Evan comes out and there's just like a really confused cheer going on.
Like, I'm wiping my blade. Like there's nothing on. I'm just wiping it on my sleeve and then putting it back in the sheath. Blah, blah, blah. Like, Elvish word, Mikey.
Oh man.
It's
All
like, wait, did they kill him or what?
So you guys can all take 10 silver apiece, and then you guys are gonna head back. And
I just realized I don't think I ever wrote down my silver. How much did I start with?
22.
All right, so
Wait, you guys.
Wait,
started-
did we start off with gold? Did we
Yeah.
start off with money? I didn't know that.
Yeah, let me.
thought we were
here's
all-
something. Originally, we did not start off, and then that changed mid-character creation process. So sorry if I didn't get that PSA out to everyone.
Yeah, how much? So how much did we start off with?
How much was it, Belrose? I know it's on your character sheet. here.
22. I think.
22 ounces of silver.
Yeah, 22 ounces of silver, by the way.
So
So
So is ounces like?
it's
measurement?
It's coins essentially. An ounce is a coin.
So I'm just gonna write 22 F.
22 silver pieces then.
Yeah. You just put OZ for ounces because that's how we're doing it for in-universe cool stuff. They measure everything by ounces
So we got-
instead of coins.
So we got 10 more ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 10 ounces. Okay, so now we have 32. And I also have the wish coin, right?
It is a let's see, what are the, I gotta get the breakdown. I'm gonna say it's a, not silver. What is the freaking piece that's lower than silver?
Bronze.
Copper?
No,
Bronze?
in this, silver is like gold in this game, by the way. Gold is worth
Oh,
less
shit.
than silver. Yeah.
Platinum?
I'm trying to
Bronze,
remember. I
copper,
don't remember the
nickel?
breakdown off the top of my head. Give me a second.
Iron?
I will answer the question once I get open up the resource for this because I have a sheet for this. I just didn't open it because I didn't think I was
Let's
going to need it.
start listing metals. Let me pull up a periodic table.
I will give you
Iron.
the answer in 2.5 here.
Aluminum.
Resources. Nope. I need.
I don't know.
I just need to open up the shop thing that we have built. Here it is, shop common items.
Lead?
It's gold, so it's one gold piece. So it's 1 ounce of gold.
Okay.
So it goes copper, gold, silver, by the way. And
So it's actually worth less than silver.
yes. It's a 100 ounces of copper equal 1 ounce of gold. 100 ounces of gold equal 1 ounce of silver.
Oh, what was that story with the wishes? Was that just made up?
Yes, he made that up, literally.
Oh, okay.
He
I
straight
wasn't
lied to
sure
me.
if you like DM'd him something that like we
Nope.
didn't know.
I was trying my hardest not to laugh because he just made that shit up, and I'm just like, that's brilliant. That is so good.
Okay.
He sent me the messages. I was sitting there struggling to get the numbers in my head. All right, now from here, guys, you guys head all the way back to the Church of Bones, where you return the tablet to where it was. And we're going to go ahead and end the session here, and you'll see what happens with Obius in the next session.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So
Man, that was really fun.
No combat, no child healing.
That had like the energy of a pilot to a TV show. Like
Yes, it did.
that's good. I'm glad
This is
that you guys
perfect for
enjoyed
the first session. Because we're at the point where we're going to kill each other. Or at least the
boy.
enemies will.
I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you did enjoy it. I was going put a lot of effort into that one. I'm gonna end the stream real here.
Yeah.
Yeah.